So I want to have Bryan on this show and have a geography bee with, or not a geography bee, just a trivia. Some are Chin categories, some are Bryan categories.
One day,
and then we have a third person.
What does a multi-band compressor do?
Yeah, there we
go. Welcome to the After Hours Pod. At the distance, I switch your chins low. Hey, welcome to the After Hours Pod. Gang, baby, praise God. Yeah. Welcome to the After Hours Pod. Hey, welcome to the After Hours Pod.
What's up? If you're watching this episode the day it comes out, make sure to tune into Combat Buddy, UFC 307, Abu Dhabi, Max Holloway versus Ilya Topuria, Robert Whittaker versus Khamzat Chimaev, Laron Murphy versus Dynamite Dan Ige, a bunch of other bangers. Chin's going to be joining me. It's going to be 7 a.m. West Coast time on my YouTube channel, another MMA podcast, link in description. We're starting at 7 a.m. It's going to be a good time. Inshallah.
Oh, look at that mune.
Look at that meme.
Look at that mune. What how low is it?
I'm texting our guests.
Look like a bleeding sphere.
Case and I were joking, like, whenever Case does an accent, it always leads to an Asian accent, which I don't think you're going to do on
I don't recall.
Come on, Casers.
That's you can do that. I can't do. I don't do that.
Welcome back to the After Hour.
Welcome back to the After Hour.
Luckily Chin wasn't with me. I was calling it Golden Hour all weekend.
Oh, man.
Ooh-wee. Errors and omissions.
Yes, actually, that leads us right into it. I'm going to send you a couple screenshots right now, Mark.
Oh, the screen's not on.
Please.
And, well, first error, this doesn't have to do with my screenshots. I doxed someone on our show. Anybody get any weird texts? Mark?
Nope, not me.
Yeah, I doxed Mark.
How so?
You know that screenshot we use? So I don't have your number saved yet.
Jeez.
And someone texted me. Mark looks worried. It's blurred now. It's blurred. It was up for maybe about 10 hours, and I made the edit. And
what are we talking about? I'm so confused.
I'll tell you. I'll explain it.
Screenshot. You don't have my number.
When we were talking about my drunk text to the squad, and the screen
Geo.
It's all right. You'll get there.
We'll do it live.
Do it live!
So the screen is up on the screen.
Yeah.
And it has our text exchange. He doesn't have your number saved as Mark or anything, so it's just the number.
Yeah.
But it's blurred now. So you went into YouTube Editor and did a blur effect?
Yeah.
That's black belt stuff.
Yeah, it is. Well, thankfully, I only got a few hate texts, so it wasn't so bad.
The worst thing about it, to be honest, my screen record, you remember I was like, oh, I thought I lost the whole screen record.
Yeah.
It didn't work. It was just like a still thing. So everything I had to add. So I added that screenshot that had your number in post.
Oh, man.
And I really apologize. I'm really glad you don't have to change your number and we're not that popular
Look,
yet.
man, it was so traumatizing. I just found out about it right now.
But you really didn't get any texts? No issues?
Nothing.
Oh, wow.
Actually,
I don't know if that's
sad.
a good. I don't know if there's a good thing or a bad thing about our pod that I didn't get anything. But
I wonder. I gotta find my own phone with it because Eddie Bravo did the exact same thing to me. He group texted it was basically the King and Sting, Sam Tripoli. He screen recorded some video, and someone texted that group chat, and the same thing. My number was not saved, and I got like 160 calls and texts. But I answered and responded to, of course, to every single one. This was when I was doing my reality TV podcast. I asked them if they watched Below Deck.
So you're engaging.
Yeah.
They're going to be like, fucking this guy, leave me alone.
See, I have more time than you for stuff like that. So, that's what you got to do, Mark, if you get a flood. Just make friends. I mean, some are cool people. I'm still in touch with some of them to this day.
I got a funny text one time. This is years ago from a guy. It was a big black guy, and it was just he was standing there like this kind of.
You looked at him.
Son of a
bitch.
Okay. Your people, Kev. He was standing there like this, just like kind of showing off his outfit. And it was obviously the wrong number, so I just sent back me doing the similar thing. And he was like, "Oh shit, I have the wrong number." And I was like, "All good, bro. You looking cute. Go, go, King. Go off, King."
I love that.
What you happened to you reminds me of this meme text. It was like, man, I wanna suck your dick so good. I wanna like finish you off. It's just very explicit, and like and the guy's like, who's this? And the first person's like, oh, sorry, wrong number. And the person replies, wait, hold on, no.
hang on. Let's discuss this. Hang on. Let's not be so quick to.
So that was the first error. That was a big one. Nothing lost though. We made it out alive.
Yeah, no harm, no foul on that one.
It was barely an error.
Yeah.
Nobody even found out about it.
What's the other one?
You told us.
Second one is, and I actually already did it this episode. Sean Maher 9221 commented. He was really pissed about this. He said, "Stop calling that a taser. It's a stun gun. A taser has 2 probes that attach and create NMI and considerably greater pain and discomfort. A stun gun is a pain compliance tool and not less lethal police weapon." So Sean, we apologize. I do think taser just kind of rolls off the tongue more.
Yeah, sorry. We should focus more on our expertise of weaponry.
Taser does sound cooler, but that one's on us. But you're right, Sean. Fair play to you.
Yeah, it's fair play.
Fair play to you.
The tricolor.
The tricolor.
If you see it in your mind, you see it before your eyes.
Look at the moon. Look at the bleeding moon.
Stand your pace. Stand your pace. It's a Conor McGregor off.
Yeah, you guys gotta see this. Conor McGregor reacting to the moon. If you could find that, Marcus. I think it's on Instagram.
Man.
This is Mark's debut of doing the screen. We're just passing around. Everybody gets to do the screen.
Nah, here. The phone isn't doing this justice.
The phone isn't doing this justice.
Quick. Is it the moon is on the bleeding low level. It's like the moon. So the moon's gonna go up. Look at the thing. Have a look at that moon, folks. Quick. Out that window if you can. That is the maddest. It's like the sphere. It's like I'm looking at the sphere. Yeah. What? What the fuck?
This is recent?
I love Conor. Yeah, this is recent. I love Conor.
What's with these phones, man? Look at that moon.
Look at that moon. The phone doesn't do it justice.
It's actually going up.
It's going up.
Usually the moon's up there, like. Down there.
It's going up.
Level. And it's huge. And it's going up.
Huge.
Yeah, look at that moon. You see that?
He's going nuts over the moon. Look at that bleeding moon.
The sphere's outside, folks, yeah?
And I get it. The phone never does it justice. When I was back in lacrosse, Northern Lights. Well, actually, this is a really poor example because the Northern Lights actually looked way better in the phone. But they were in La Crosse, Wisconsin, which is not a usual thing, and it looked beautiful. But if you put it on the phone, the colors were way better. But in general, skylines, your phone can't do it. Anything in the sky. This is one of my favorite Conor ones from back in the day. This is how I pump myself up in the morning.
Fresh. You the man. You the man. You are the man.
He laughs like
I love Conor.
It's really sad he's not fighting, but man, what a life he leads.
I still just go back and watch like the Eddie fight. I'll go back and watch the Jose like embeddeds. I used to be so obsessed with Conor. I had his fight kit, and leading up to his fights, I would cut weight. Like that would be like, okay, here's the deadline. Here's my goal weight. It would be 145 when he was fighting at featherweight.
I did that too.
No way.
What time I said it was? Oh,
yeah,
what's going
on?
on?
How's it going?
Good to see you.
Welcome our guest,
the
Ryan
after
Long.
show from before, huh?
Yeah. We tricked him into it. I told him to get here early, and now he's with the B team.
B team rolls deep though, huh?
Yeah. My whole thing is podcasts is confuse them. They're like, I like them, but I don't know who. They just like everybody talking to each other. Just a lot going on. That's why you and Danny have the boys cast.
Yes, sir.
And it's only 2 people. You idiot.
I have thought that before when I'm preparing stuff. I'm like, you know what would make this half as hard? 2 more people.
and make one of those people a producer so they don't get a third. You just pay them a nominal amount of money. This is my life.
Don King over here.
Give them a nominal amount of money, and then you can like ask them stuff about their life, but they don't reap any of the benefits.
Pop a mic there. Yeah.
Welcome into town. You have your new special.
Thank you, brother.
Watched this morning.
You checked it out? Thank you.
Problem solved. I see all your shit though, because your clips are incredible. Your sketches are incredible.
Hell yeah!
I was an early adopter of Ryan during the pandemic. The Corona Tattletale one.
Oh yeah.
I realized that tattling on people for not distancing can provide me my fix of lynch mobbing strangers on the internet. It's a new world out there, and we need a new list of commandments to enforce on other people. I'm just looking for anyone who's posted Facebook photos of them at a park or a beach. Right now, I'm working on having him expelled from his school. 3 people, that's no good. I mean, yeah, it's not that hard. The government should close every business, weld every door shut, then give every citizen $20,000 a month. I mean, I'd like to see the government give us a bedtime. I see myself as essentially the digital arm of the United States military. I was wondering if you could go potentially bust down the door, shut that down.
I really pushed it. I think you had like 30,000 followers when I started.
When they had the snitch line that people started calling in. Did you see recently the guy who was like the main COVID guy in New York? He just they like found out that he was going to like these wild orgies during COVID.
Oh yes, he was literally the COVID czar. Yeah.
What a bust! Yeah. No pun intended.
Oh, nice. Very
it's infuriating. Were you actually mad during the whole thing, or were you like?
No,
you seem to have an ability to like just be from the top and poke fun at.
No, I don't get too mad about stuff. I don't know. You can't really, right?
Yeah.
There was probably like the only thing that I felt like during COVID that maybe there was like a month where I was like, I moved to America, and then I was like there for like 2 months, and it just started cooking, and then they shut it all down. So that part of it was like terrible timing. But then Canada was so much worse that I was like, well, I actually dodged a bullet. But there was a moment where I was like, right when I get here, you're shutting it down.
Yeah. Do you live here now?
I live in New York.
New York.
Yeah. I just moved out of Manhattan into Greenpoint. I'm loving it.
People always throw neighborhoods out. I've only been in New York one time for a weekend.
Dude, when I moved to Manhattan, I didn't realize that Manhattan was the main area. Yeah. Like when I moved to New York, I was like, oh, that's the downtown.
Yeah.
Now I've been there for 5 years now. I'm like, how does anyone not know this? What kind of moron does not know the architecture of New York?
I basically only know that there's an Olive Garden in Times Square. That's my extent. I was there for a weekend.
That's all you need. Olive Garden. When you're here, you're at Olive Garden.
His special Problem Solved, available on YouTube now. It's been out for almost 2 weeks.
Yeah, check it out. YouTube.com/Ryan Long Comedy.
Have you had shows since it came out?
Yeah, I kind of, because I was supposed to finish it and then do stuff for a month and then go on tour, but like things kept taking too long. So I've been touring like the whole, like the day it came out, like the next day I went on tour.
Did you see a bump?
Yeah, the shows have been good, but I also booked, like the plan was to release a special, and then I'm going to like random places. Like I just did Saratoga, Fort Wayne. So I'm doing all these kind of like small places.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm not going to sell a crazy amount of tickets in these cities that have 150,000 population, but
you should go to La Crosse, Wisconsin. That's my hometown. Theo Vaughn just went there.
Really?
Yeah, you sold the La Crosse Center. I just like when
La Crosse Center.
Yeah. Woo. It's a beautiful venue.
It's the one sport that you could be the top in the world and still have to have a normal job. Maybe not the one. Olympic sports, but
I mean, LSU basketball player, the chick, Angel Reese. She was just saying like her NBA or WNBA salary doesn't cover her rent. She pays $8,000 a month and makes $80,000 a year from the WNBA.
But she doesn't make $80,000 a year. She makes $3 million a year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
She's rolling in it, but definitely not from the sport.
I mean, that's kind of the equivalent these days of like me saying like, oh, my Instagram doesn't even pay my bills. And it was like, well, technically no, but you know what I mean? Like it definitely assists in other money you make. Because if she left the WNBA, all the other money would go away.
Absolutely.
So I feel like at this point, the endorsements and everything is somewhat baked into the pie.
Yeah, it's very similar to female fighters. Most of us are big MMA fans, and like the OnlyFans is, especially if you just like know.
Is that like a guarantee?
Oh, absolutely. Especially if you know you're not championship level, it's the absolute career path. Reality TV.
What percentage of them do it?
Man, it seems like 50.
That's funny. Yeah, that's crappy.
And some of them absolutely should not be having OnlyFans. But like, they're still making bank because of the curiosity factor.
And no matter what you look like, there's going to be some freak that'll pay to watch you naked on the internet.
Even if you look like a 13-year-old boy in a hostage
anything,
situation.
probably like
Shout out Jessica Andrade.
The weirder you look, probably
look
the
at her
better.
OnlyFans. Never.
The weirder you look, in some ways, the better.
I've had this thought.
Like, if you're just a normal 6, you probably do worse than a girl that's like 600 pounds.
Or 1 foot or something.
Yeah. No arms.
TikTok, I've said, is like a renaissance for freaks. Like,
It's a huge time to be a freak yelling into your camera right now.
I feel like Maury Povich was like the 90s version of it. Like, that's how you got some notoriety, and now it's TikTok.
They didn't get to use their notoriety, though. Like,
Yeah.
you'd become and then after notorious, I guess it would be. And then after like 5 months, you'd forget about them. They go back to being broke, right?
Yeah.
Now those guys stick around and they're millionaires.
That's why Cartman, when he had balls on his chin, wanted to unionize all the Maury Povich freaks. He's like, we need to get paid for this. Yeah, there's episodes like 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Classic episode.
So are you doing all new stuff now? Are you
Yeah.
retiring
So I recorded 4 months ago, and for the last 4 months, just like every single day, I've been like grinding, trying to like every night, just trying to put together like a passable hour. And then now I started doing it, and I'm like actually feeling pretty good.
How does the pressure of putting something out compare to like the pressure of having to start over?
Starting over is hard. Putting something out doesn't feel like pressure. It just is what it is. You kind of detach it. You go, it is what it is. You know, I think the putting together a lot of material in a short period of time while you're busy is like, in my opinion, probably the hardest thing in entertainment, probably.
And it's like the expectation is higher when you just put something out, and it's like maybe people don't realize I'm fucking starting over. Like this is all like you almost want to temper expectations now.
Yeah, sure.
Like, but it's the opposite effect. It's like, hey, I know you now. I saw this special. I loved it. Now fucking bring it.
You better be good.
Yeah.
No, I feel pretty good about it. Although I feel like the worst way to write, and some people probably would agree, like deadlines are good and all that stuff, but like I kind of feel like in a lot of ways, like the worst way to write is a ton of pressure.
Yeah, defensively.
Yeah, defensively. Yeah, you're like reactionary, and it's like, and it's hard to like center your brain when there's so much going on.
Yeah.
And then so I feel like those 4 months were like pretty stressful, to be honest.
But now you're in it. Now you got
Yeah,
it.
well, now it's like, okay, I have a base. This is like actually, I'm like, it's going fairly well. Now I'll just build on this for the next year and a half, and then I'm back to my normal life, which is like fine.
Yeah.
Are you doing any spots while you're in LA?
No.
How long are you here? And what other pods?
I'm doing, I just did Corolla. I just did Sickler. I'm doing Harlan Williams.
Nice.
I might go to the comedy store tonight.
Adam Carolla was my first job in
really?
podcasting. Yeah, I interned for him.
Joe Prano works there now. If you know him, comic.
I haven't.
Funny
Yeah,
guy.
is he on the show? Like
sort of. Yeah.
Kind of in the room, or is he behind the glass?
Behind the glass. That studio's cool though. A lot of LA people have cool studios.
Adam's studio is awesome. It's like that's where I watched. Did he take you over to his car studio?
No, I'm not really a car guy.
Yeah, me neither.
Would have hated that.
Yeah.
Had to pretend I liked it.
Oh, wow, this one's blue. Oh, a red one as well. Tremendous.
Do you like Paul Newman?
Yeah.
You're like not that either. Because all his cars are Paul Newman cars.
Fan of the lemonade, but
Salad dressing guy?
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
He was like
Wait, what does that mean?
Paul Newman was a very serious racer. Like he did the 24.
And all Corolla's cars were this guy's cars?
He is now, he had some other ones before, but now he's collecting all his old race cars. And I think it's actually like kind of a good idea. He's like, he wants to like build a market like Steve McQueen's cars. Those all go for millions, and he wants to have them all. And he put out a documentary about Paul Newman's racing career, and they've like upped in value.
Oh.
It's kind of a good strategy.
It's actually pretty smart.
Yeah. And Paul, he also like really just looked up to Paul Newman. Paul Newman was evidently just a saint. Like that dressing has paid for.
That's the ultimate rich guy hobby, eh? Collecting cars.
Yeah, absolutely. There's some point where you get enough money and you're like,
I heard Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank talking about how he's a big watch guy. That's his whole thing. He has these guys. You go to this one guy. He only makes 10 watches a year. He vets you to make sure that you're like worthy of one of the watches.
like tests if you could tell time.
Yeah. Yeah, shotgun test of. All right, what's this one? No, yeah, too late.
10:45. No, 10:50.
I basically just like MMA and gambling, but I don't know. Like when people are that interested in, I don't know, like a wine, like wine connoisseurs, I find that so boring. And I don't even think they really like it? Like, does
And I
Kevin
think that's
O'Leary
been
give a fuck
proven.
about Watch?
I think he gives a fuck about like people seeing him as the guy that's the Watch guy. I think you get into the culture at that point. You know what I mean?
Did you see Mayhem Miller at Adam Caroll's studio?
He was there. Yeah,
He's a badass. Yeah.
He used to have a show on MTV called Bully Beatdown.
Yep. He was super famous for a while.
Where bullies
He would have MMA
bullies showed
fighters,
up and fought some nerd's bully or some shit.
that was the show.
Yeah. It's pretty incredible.
All of those like kind of wacky shows, like that's a lot of YouTube content right now.
Yeah.
With stuff like that.
It's so yeah. This is a little diverting from that, but pedophile hunters.
No, it's huge. Right now.
Yeah. I want to do it.
You might have missed you might be late to the game. There might be more hunters than pedophiles now.
It's just like fucking GameStop. I missed another one. By the time I hear about it, it's too late.
It's a lot. That is a lot of work if you put it up and it gets 2 views.
Yeah. And I just like, what if police caught you before you catch a pedophile? You're like, no, I was just trying to entrap someone. You're in like kids' chat rooms and shit.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's a dangerous overhead.
I'm making sure no one else does this. It's definitely. I guess you document the whole thing. It's hard to say. It's a hard game.
But then you could kind of back engineer it. If you are a pedophile, you could just start documenting it and then be like, oh no, I'm trying to catch these sons of bitches. I'm out here fighting the good fight.
I don't think like that, but
I'm out here.
Chris Hansen walks in and you're like, okay, have a seat, Chris.
Yeah.
We got you.
Sure.
Chris Hansen was on Theo Vaughn's podcast one time, and he talked about this on air, and they resolved it. But Chris like brought his assistant and stayed like 3 extra nights in the hotel and like ran up a big room on his room service.
Oh yeah, I think I heard him say that.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
I want to do a little sit down with him. Excuse me. What are these? Evian. Oh, it's a bottle of wine.
You got to be some sort of asshole to have a hotel on someone's credit card and start opening up all the snacks that are, $9 an almond.
I have the biggest fear of even touching any of that stuff. I would never do it on someone else's credit card.
With a $5 bottle of water.
Yes. I hate hotels that don't have any water available. Like, have a fountain. Have something. Like, if you're in the middle of the night and there's like, you're in some city that doesn't have 24-hour like anything, you're in an oasis, like,
Sure.
And then you go down to the front desk and they're like, they don't have any. Someone say something else.
I'll tell you, that's Los Angeles.
Have you guys
period.
drank from the sink in a hotel? I've done it many times.
I have.
It's just like if you need water, just drink from the sink.
It just tastes a little weird.
Depends on the city. Not all sinks are created equal.
Yeah.
That and plus, but I think with the water regulations, it's more stringent on that kind of stuff, like tap water, than it is with bottled water. That's what I remember.
The lowest of the low is the hotel bathroom sink water.
Yes.
Like when you have to get that, you're like
that's what he was asking about.
In the tub, you mean, or what do you mean?
You fill up the tub and then you scoop it.
Oh no,
Sure.
I'll
sit in it
first. Water as well.
Yeah.
But
that's just bring a big ice, throw it in there, turn on the tub. It's cold the whole trip.
You're good the whole trip.
You have to shower cold to keep it cold, but
you guys are fancy boys. I'm 100% a hotel sink water guy.
Yeah, exactly.
I haven't thought twice about that.
If I'm super thirsty, then I'll drink from the sink. I
didn't even cross my mind that there's anything weird about that.
I'm the least like, I don't know.
Pretentious.
Pretentious, diva-ish, but I don't know. It tastes weird. I usually try to remind myself, go buy a bottle of water. Or a pack of water.
But where did the bottle of water come from?
Now I feel like a fucking just stuck up bitch or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hey, man, you said it.
Did you ever do this? Like you put your finger in? No, that's not good.
Have you ever been on any shows with Sam Tripoli or Eddie Bravo?
Yeah, I don't know Eddie Bravo. I think I met him at Skankfest, but Sam Tripoli I know pretty well, yeah.
Theo and Brendan Schaub were talking to him about, they said they drink tap water, and Sam and Eddie were apoplectic.
What, are you drinking tap water?
Yeah, I've been drinking tap water.
Me too.
What?
Yeah. I've been drinking since I was born. My whole family drinks it.
That's all I know.
You guys, wait. You guys drink tap water?
My whole family drinks it.
Oh, yeah. We were born and raised on that
LA
shit.
tap water. You guys are kidding.
I'll drink out of the gutter.
You guys are kidding. No way.
Yeah, I drink tap
water.
Do you guys know how much chlorine they put in that?
Fluoride?
Hey, you guys don't drink it?
What are you guys drinking?
Yeah, what are you guys drinking, dude?
I'm sorry, ballers. What are you, bottled water all day?
What are you guys doing?
I don't do tap water. No? Oh, I'm sorry, Palisade boys. You have a filter on it? Absolutely not. What? Straight from the tap.
Look at him. Of course he doesn't.
They were like, you drink LA tap water. Like, they're like, oh, and they were like, oh yeah, I drink it all the time.
What's even the issue? What does it have?
I mean, those two guys.
Context-wise, they're both a huge conspiracy guys.
Yeah.
Oh, they're saying it's like fluoride.
Fluoride.
Isn't that everywhere though?
Or what's that? Atrazine. So. It's shrinking our taints. That Alex Jones says. Atrazine's in the water. Come on.
So it's just a bunch of crap they put in the water.
Yeah.
And I have a feeling. I mean, probably other people have made this point, but like, I would bet that there's not much difference from the tap water in this.
Yeah, it's actually some people.
I guarantee you couldn't tell the difference.
Some people say don't drink it because the filtering process actually takes out all the minerals that are good for you.
I'm not drinking water for minerals.
That's what I said.
Like health fix.
This segment brought to you by Poland Spring.
No, it's my future water that I wanted to make, but now I don't know if I can because Monster has Rain energy drink. But I always wanted to make rain water.
Yeah, worrying about minerals as you crank your fourth Monster.
I wanted to make
smash the can on your head.
Yeah, what effect is this going to have on your taint?
Kevin Smith was on a podcast and he said one time he drank 10 Celsiuses in a day.
This makes your taint kick the shit out of other taints.
Yeah. And
revs it up
and get mad at your mom and slam the door.
Yeah, people have been on Celsius right now. I feel like that has been the new obsession.
I'm on it too, and one of the shows I work for has a sponsorship, so it's literally in every cabinet, and I just bring one home every time. But I don't like the vibe. Send me Fuji Apple Pear. That's the best one.
Was Kevin Smith like brag? Like, was it just a normal day, or was he like trying to break a record, or with the Celsius?
It was just a normal day. I think he's I don't know. He used to smoke a lot of pot and stopped, so maybe he's just trying to fill the void, get all amped up. I don't know.
Do you smoke pot?
I do here and there, but I've never been like a big pot guy.
Yeah, some people, it's like their whole personality.
Probably in high school, there was like a good year where it was like pretty part of the fixture.
Yeah,
maybe 2 years, but like I would say that then it probably is more of like a once every month, once every 2 months.
Do you use anything in your writing process? Like, do you drink and write, or eat mushrooms and write, or smoke and write?
I like to punch a homeless guy just to get the juices flowing. Yeah.
That makes sense.
I think the move is to get that stuff out of your writing process to some degree, because then you need it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Do you?
I don't do anything. I don't write anything.
Oh, that's one way around it.
Although I used to, when I did have a show and I would write stuff, I found that like all my ideas were like the first hour and a half, 2 hours of the day. So I'd wake up and like before even brushing my teeth, just like go sit down and write everything. And I could feel it like waning as the morning went on.
I kind of have a theory that like there is a lot of things that make writing easier, but like that's ideally then you figure out how to do it without that, right? Like the same as probably like when people first start doing stand-up or something, they're like, oh, if I'm like 3 beers deep, it's like easier, right? Or anything's easier, and you're like, yeah, and the idea is to, I think, get to the point where you don't have to do that anymore because the version without is higher, right? It's a lot of it. I feel like also it's not as sustainable. Like you hear a lot of like artists that were, like big drug guys and they were like geniuses, and you're like, yeah, they were 27 also. And it's like, and then at 40 they were like dead.
Yeah.
Or like, or not releasing anything good anymore. So I feel like that's a good like young guy hack, but it's really not like probably a good like sustainable long-term thing.
Yeah, no longevity in that.
That's like Hemingway, Hunter S. Thompson, they all died.
Actually, I watched this doc about, there was the Florida Keys, and it's like all these famous writers that went on to be like big movie stars, and Jimmy Buffett, and they all like lived in this place, and none of them were famous, and it was like they were just like boys, and they would like fish and party, and they went back and they were writing. They were kind of like not popular at the time, and then they all it's just funny how it always happens in these little pockets. And then they all like, he became, the other one guy, I can't remember his name, he came to like, enormous like Hollywood movie writer. The other guy became like a huge like author, and then Jimmy Buffett became like this big super. They were all just this little area of Florida Keys, these like 4 dudes.
Cluster effects, really.
Yeah, it always happens like that.
I do think routine though is and early morning is probably really good. The winds at dawn keep secrets.
Oh wow.
Isn't that beautiful?
Who said
That's
that?
beautiful.
I don't know.
Jimmy Buffett.
This guy used to do a podcast for us. I don't know. I think it might be Vedantic philosophy. I don't know.
Well, this guy had a good quote that I wrote down one of his quotes. He said that he goes, as you get older, life is always diminishing enthusiasm. So it's like you're always looking for things that can reinvigorate your enthusiasm, even if it's for a little period of time. Something like that. Yeah, it's kind of a good quote, right?
I love quotes.
It's real shit.
It is real shit. But yeah, it's true because he's like, in general, it's like you're always just going to be, your enthusiasm is going to be diminishing. And it's like, well, you try to, so you're constantly like on a search for things that like invigorate that.
That makes sense. I'm really thinking about that.
And then, but there's probably dark versions of that and light versions of that, because dark versions of that can be like, partying and chicks.
I was literally thinking like gambling, like a new bet.
Yeah,
like that. You're back up,
for sure.
But it's a vice. It's a bad way to do it. But if you
there's probably a dark side and a light side of doing that.
Have you heard that the Ralph Waldo Emerson quote? It's like, to me, it's like one of the most powerful ones. It's like I'm not going to remember it correctly, but it's like to continue to be yourself in a world that's constantly trying to change you is like the biggest accomplishment. Because especially when you work in entertainment, with like I'll get more likes from this, or I'll get this and whatever, but just staying yourself.
Yeah,
and just being whatever.
Being able to like wait for the world to align with who you are, as opposed to trying to chase it.
Yeah, he said that's the biggest, something like the biggest accomplishment or something like that. But yeah, that resonated with me a lot.
It's also real shit.
Huh?
I said that's also real shit.
It takes a great amount of discipline to try to do that.
Just stay yourself. Yeah, just stay yourself. Don't like let the outside mess with you.
I've always had kind of a personal mantra for a long time. It's like the exact same thing. I was like, don't try to impress, just try to express. And then
that's exactly the same.
And then you, especially now with the way media works, like you find the audiences that like you. Like no one is like popular to everybody anymore. And like if you post something and people unfollow you, it's like, okay, those people weren't supposed to be within your circle anyway. So like you're just galvanizing and getting a stronger base of people who actually support and go out to see you or what have you.
Yeah, and a lot of people, it's like the world sort of aligned where you're you're like exactly right for this moment, you know?
Definitely. You during COVID.
Yeah, or whatever.
For me.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
for real. Also,
I always like in comedy. I think a lot of the best thoughts in this is probably music and like literature, all of it. But you're kind of like, where am I? Where is like the world sort of wrong and I'm pretty right about this? I think some people said like, what do I think Peter Thiel, like investing, was kind of like, what am I really right about that everyone else is wrong about? But then I think the if people that have had that, then you're like, sometimes you're like, there isn't one. And then you go, I think that's when people start to really flounder, where you're like, well, I don't actually have one right now. And you're like, well, I have to say 10 things a week. So, you know what I mean? Then I think that's what really gets people off track when they're trying to find those, but they don't have one, but they have to like almost act like they do. So then they just kind of have to start saying like wild shit.
And then it's like, yeah. And then when you hold on like that much, you just continue to go on the wrong path. Like you got to let go. Again, like Vedantic philosophy, like the harder you chase something, the further it'll run from you. But if you like, there's a word for it. It's like having things come to you. But
yeah, you kind of like, maybe I'm not the perfect guy for this right now.
Instead of chasing, you just keep going down your path and things will come to you. I'm visualizing it well. So Chin, you almost fought Bryan.
Oh, you're gonna go there now.
Can we talk about this out here?
Yeah, but do we have enough time?
Yeah, that's why I went to it right now.
Right
at about
there.
10 minutes. It's 10:40. The next one starts at 11. So
okay, cool.
So Chin is the producer for Fighter and the Kid. That's Bryan, Callan, and Brendan Schaub.
Yeah.
And I don't know. They got. Let's watch the clip. What I really want to do.
Was it like a spar? Or did you guys? What is it?
No.
It was just a disagreement.
By the way, it's a fun game for all of us to play too as well, because I did a little refresher on this stuff. But yeah, you can go ahead and play whatever.
Why do you need to know where the Arctic and Antarctic, that the North and the South Pole are? Right, if you're a low information person, you'll be ignorant.
Low information person.
You call me a low ignorant. That's low information ignorant person.
He doubles down.
That's
but
below the belt.
I will say he didn't know where Antarctica was.
So the whole thing came from like they were asking me, can you name all the countries in Europe, right? And I'm like, I named like 2, and I thought Australia was in Europe. And they were like, what the hell? I'm like, why is that so important? Like, I learned that in grade school, right? It doesn't
That's
matter
not
to
really.
me now.
That's more like just knowing stuff.
Yeah. So anyway,
Yeah.
they went even further. They went way further. So he says, "You." There's Brendan right there, by the way.
Before show.
We're just talking about Bryan and Chin.
Me and Brian's argument.
Oh,
yeah.
you're ignorant.
Yeah. He said low information, ignorant person. Yeah, dude. There's a
He was
clip.
just instigating.
There's a clip I'm going to put for Fight on the Kid tomorrow. That's like, it's so funny the sequence. But anyways, Brian's thing was like more like a.
Well, let's just listen to it.
Part of the problem. Not
Do you
part
think
of
I'm
the
a low
solution.
information ignorant person?
I do.
That hurt, right?
But you just admitted it.
A bit ignorant? No, hold on, because I don't know the location or the.
But wait,
hemisphere or
Chin,
something.
you just said, why do I need to know this? The reason you need to know this is because it makes you less
I don't
ignorant.
need to. I don't need it. It's not benefiting my life.
I
don't
got
need
DMs
it.
Make your
about
life
this.
more
Of
rich.
course, if I'm interested in it, I'll fucking learn more. But I don't need it.
Nobody's shaming you. What I don't like is when you say, I don't need
If you're low information, you're low information.
The point is,
I didn't know-
the point is,
So
if you
I
don't
think, Brian,
and you say that, that's an ignorant thing to say.
What you're doing is that you're going way too deep into it. To me,
No,
it's
I'm
like,
not.
Okay, Brian.
The problem with our election, the
Hold on,
problem with our country is most people are low information voters.
You're what's wrong with our
We
country.
vote in idiots. That's the problem.
Anyway, Brian,
And it
right now,
affects
right
our
now.
lives.
Let me ask you this right now. Right now.
And Brendan's like chiming in.
This is a podcast that's very important to you, right?
You go Trump 2024.
What stuff is around this podcast that has to make this stuff happen? Audio, software, cameras, lenses. Do you know anything about these?
No.
Then shut the fuck up. This is your thing.
Oh, Chin telling Brian to shut the
That's
fuck
where I
up.
fucked up. That I should have never. There was too emotional and stuff.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, and then you heard it too.
Doing it.
I was like, no, dude. But I'm an employee. Like, imagine in a regular environment in an office space.
Brian's not your boss.
Well, okay, so technically he's not my boss, but he is.
He's your coworker.
Yeah.
You tell me to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I'm not. No one's telling you anything now.
I have been calling everybody low information individuals and all the group
I know.
chats.
You've been doing it constantly on the text messages.
Is there anything worse?
That was like the most hurtful thing. I was like, oh my, ignorant, low information person. I was like, oh no.
So I want to have Bryan on this show and have a geography bee with, or not a geography bee, just a trivia. Some are Chin categories, some are Bryan categories.
One day.
And then we have a third person.
What does a multi-band compressor do?
Yeah,
There we go.
I feel like you could have thrown Asian stuff at him. Do you know
We've
Korean?
done this before.
Do you know Korean?
I'm okay at Korean. I'm okay in Spanish. And
Yeah,
I'm
you should have threw other languages at him.
You could throw some. You know more about cars, like GTR.
I know, but that's not the whole point. Was like he says I need to remember.
No,
all the
No,
content.
that wasn't his point. His
individual.
point was if you're okay with saying, I don't know that, I don't need to know that, then you're not actively trying to better yourself intellectually. That was his point. And your point was, I don't need to know every specific thing about every specific thing. And there's some blind spots that you have, and there's some blind spots that I have.
Yeah.
But his point is stopping your pursuit of knowledge is ignorance.
No, but I'm not stopping. I'm not going back. I'm not going back to my grade school stuff where I learned the continent.
No.
I'm learning.
I totally get you.
Yes.
This section's going to be great for our numbers. Them talking about this. So we're clickbaiting right now. I kind of agree with Brian's point, but I thought he cared way too much, and he was way too
they
mean
both
about
cared
it.
way too much. But
we were being both of us were very stubborn. I wanted to prove my point. He wanted to prove his point, and then we just got into this ridiculous argument.
But
then I messed up and said, shut the fuck up, which you should never say to anyone that you work with, or But I guess we're like a work family, so it feels more close. So we say stuff like that to each other, but not cool.
What was the vibes like yesterday?
Yesterday?
Because that was your first episode.
Immediately after, they were cool.
Yeah, we were joking around on our group.
Oh yeah,
messages
there was no tension whatsoever.
Oh, you guys have a fighter in the kid group chat too?
Oh, big time, yeah.
Oh, damn, that's sad. We
Yeah.
had a golden hour one. I'm not in the fighter and the kid one.
Yeah,
we should just combine them.
All right, Nick, maybe one day.
Golden fighter.
We have a thick boy one, a dry fast all gas one, a golden hour one, a fire in the kid one.
Yeah, there's.
You got some spicy group chats?
There's a lot going on.
I got a lot of spicy group chats.
Stuff that'll ruin your future if it ever got out.
I have Toronto comedian guys. I have Toronto band guys, and then I have some tech guys. I'm in a chat group with a bunch of tech guys. I have a crypto guy chat group.
Damn.
And I have maybe 2 or 3 like comedian group chats.
I love it. This is diverting, but do you know who Moose Disawala?
From the guy that beat up Jughead that one time?
I don't know. He no, not the comic, I believe. No, Moose Disawala. He was like a Toronto Indian rapper who got assassinated
assassinated
3 years ago. That they said assassinated. It was like he got like he was huge. He's got like 30 million Instagram followers, and
in Toronto.
He's from Toronto. Let me find.
Where'd he get assassinated?
In India. He was like working back there, trying to like help poor people somehow, like with the government, and it just like his friends drove him, got out of the car, and like everybody pulled up on him and shot him. And he was a Toronto guy, and because like
Indian gangster shit.
Yeah, which is like a huge cultural thing I didn't know about.
I got an Indian gangster group chat.
Nice.
Yeah, Tamils.
Ask them about Moose.
Did you like him though? Good rapper.
I mean, I just listened to it when I heard about the story and checked him out. He's good.
Did he become like a big star after the fact?
I mean, he was huge before.
Fuck, how do I not know this guy?
I can't even find his name.
He raps in English though?
Yep.
Huh.
Yeah.
Man, I'm low information over here.
Yeah, there we go. He found him. What is his name?
Moosewala, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Moosewala. Okay, I thought there was more letters, but yeah, and his first album had like was named the date Tupac died, and it had like a picture of the car Tupac got shot on, and then he got shot just like Tupac.
Mark, if you wore one of those hats, you kind of look like him.
Well, that's my Halloween costume now.
Oh, okay, all right, cool.
You're being Moose?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I got it. Here, that's me right there. Here. That's my Halloween costume.
Are there any other Toronto comedians on the come up? Like, who's up next?
Dude, I have 12 of my friends moved to New York.
Just now?
Oh, yeah. So there's me, Danny Polishuk, JJ Lieberman, Jay Durena, Jared Campbell, Danny Marnello. So there's like our buddy Neiman Naziri, who's a Persian, very funny Toronto dude. There's probably we got a whole squad that's moving to New York right now.
And now you're just infiltrating, and you'll be the cool kids in the New York scene.
We're working on it. we got a good squad there now. I'm happy that.
It's funny how that happens. Like Philadelphia had it too.
Yeah, literally, I was thinking that probably the last, huge conglomerate from another city that they all kind of were boys was Philly, but they all moved to Austin.
Yeah, they moved to Austin or New. Are some of them still in New York?
Yeah, Are You Garbage guys are still here. Like,
Yeah.
there's still like tons of Philly guys, but there was when I first moved to New York, there was like so many.
Oh, this is very.
Philly guys are all funny as fuck too.
Yeah, this is very relevant to our show. Do you know what happened with Toby, the producer of Are You Garbage?
Yeah.
What happened?
Oh, I don't think that's like that's not like my.
You had to know there was a follow-up.
I don't think it's. From my understanding, it's not like. I thought that they've talked about it, but I think it's like more their thing to talk about.
Yeah.
But I don't like from my understanding. As of now, it's not like there's like some crazy animosity or anything. And Toby's starting a new podcast himself. He built a studio and he has a cool podcast he's doing with the guy, and they're kind of. Plugging business as usual. So I don't think there's like a big drama, but again, I'm sure that they both talked about that would probably be better than me because I'm I'm not like more tapped in than anyone else.
Yeah.
Nick,
I
really,
thought maybe you knew those guys. I don't know.
You're really leaning into that this is the clickbait episode.
Oh yeah, we want
the truth about Are You Garbage.
That's the thumbnail. Talk about it for 30 seconds. Like, I don't really know.
Ryan Long gives the truth.
Those guys are texting me like, what the fuck? No way, I'm not. But I don't think there's animosity.
Yeah.
But it's also like not my story to tell or whatever.
I'm sure you wanted more money and then you left.
That's just drama about some other guys that aren't me.
I'm digging for this is all about the numbies. But I posted something and someone said, you're my second favorite podcast producer, Rip Toby. And I was like searching. I was like, did he die? But luckily he just left the show.
I like that it was second favorite. You're not the favorite. Who's the favorite?
Toby.
Okay.
But if Toby,
those guys, Are You Garbage guys are hilarious dudes. Toby's the man.
They've been on That was probably King and the Sting, but they were back.
They were with us too. Fighting the Kid.
Yeah, they're great. They're great. Patreon killing it. Well, we got to go to Golden Hour. Everybody, check out Ryan's special.
Problem solved.
Problem solved.
On YouTube
Pop
right
over
now.
there right now. YouTube.com/Ryan Long Comedy.
He's got a great 15-minute chunk on the Are You Garbage drama. That was really surprising, diverting from your usual stuff. I'm sorry I asked you about other people's drama.
Thanks for hopping on here, though, Ryan. We're the B Squad, but we appreciate you coming.
Thank you.
And check out Combat Buddy this Saturday as it drops in the morning. UFC 307, 7 a.m. West Coast prelim start. So that's fun. Combat for breakfast.
Thanks for watching.
Welcome to the After Hours Pod. You're now rocking with the BTS squad. Nigga second best producer in the game. Cause Chin Su Yi is the guy. Shout out all the new faces from my home state. Market case good, but Kevin's job is really on skates. Now I'm playing every one of y'all is shit. I can't wait to hear all the juicy stuff y'all about to spill behind the scenes. Like is Theo ever coming back into the booth? Come on, tell the truth. Fuck what they said. Just tell me, niggas, me and you. It's me and you. And the fight y'all need to make some eyes a cat. That's a scrap. It's time to put the show on the map. Let's bring it back. The After Hour crew and they nonsense. When nigga couple trulies deepies never bomb me. I'm glad y'all brought back the pod. Keep it strong. It's out when I'm back, so hide your mom and I'm gone. Welcome to the After Hours Pod. You're rocking with the BTS squad. Hey, welcome to the After Hours Pod. I'm glad that cat finally got a job. Hey, welcome to the After Hours Pod. After this, then I switch your chins low. Hey, welcome to the After Hours Pod. Gang, baby, praise God. Welcome to the After Hours Pod. Hey, welcome to